So what I read, what I learnt from all these years reading religious scriptures and spirituality and psychology and philosophy, is that it all pertains to the self. There's nothing outside of the self. And even if we think there's a God, who's thinking that? It's the self. And so we can't prove that anything is in existence outside of ourselves, because it's ourselves that experience these things. Even if someone says to you, oh well, there's a sun up in the sky, you know, that's not yourself. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's myself that's perceiving that, feeling the warmth from it. So that's the only truth I know. If you tell me that there's a planet that I can't see, if you tell me that there's stars out there, X, Y and Z, I'm going to go, unless I can see them with my eye, then they're not in my universe. So you must be speaking about another universe. So it all pertains to the self, guys and girls, at the end of the day. So if we bear that in mind, then everything that we do must be selfish. Even if we're loving our kids and our partners and all this sort of thing, it is selfish because we're doing it because we want to. Even if we don't care about ourselves per se, we do care about that bit of ourselves that cares about the other person, which is kind of paradoxical. If you say you don't care about yourself and you're only living for the other person, then there's something that's staying alive in you for that other person. So that something's you, isn't it? And so, you know, we get into these curious realms. But when we look at things like confession, what it is that actually we're doing is we are becoming at peace within ourselves. We want to do everything that is humanly possible to be at peace with ourselves. And when we are at peace with ourselves, when we get into as close as we can, which we would call ecstasy, then we are in the kingdom of God, ladies and gentlemen. Because there's no point in believing that we're going somewhere else. If we're going somewhere else, then what is it that's going to go there? It's us, isn't it? So we may as well concentrate on us. It doesn't matter whether we're going to end up somewhere else, you know, at the end of the day. And in relation to, you could say, yeah, well, if you end up in hell, then that's going to be, it's your choice. You know, you are going to an extension of your own mind. And whatever you think about, whatever you create, that's your reality. You can't know anything else. And there's no overlord which is going to pick your spirit up and drop you in the fiery Gehenna because you've contravened a few of his commandments. No, that's just too stupid. It's just too ridiculous even to consider being viable. Heaven and hell are figments of our imagination. We've created those concepts because we've lived them. And all we've done is we've just wrote down what we've lived, basically. And so if we just focus on ourselves, calming ourselves to the greatest level, creating the chemicals within our body which bring the most joy, pleasure and satisfaction, and eradicating the chemicals that are going to be causing us suffering and pain. You know, the cortisols and the anxieties and the fears and, you know, any of the physical pains we want to eradicate the best we possibly can. So we look after this temple, we treat it in the best possible way. So we give rise to a level of longevity. We're gonna suffer at some stage, but there's no point in bringing about this level of suffering earlier than is necessary. Now, I looked on the internet at things to do with elderberries, and I'm just a simple guy, and I thought, well, what I'm going to do with them is I'm just going to put them in a blender, maybe add a bit of water, and I'm just going to drink them because this is a pleasant taste. Elderberries. But when you go online, you make some with this and that, and you boil it down, and you add this, and you take away that, and you make this. Well, I just want to make something with elderberries. Can't I just, like, you know, put them in a blender, maybe add a little bit of honey? But no, I never found one video speaking about that. I'm like, why do people make everything so complicated? Why they all have got to boil everything down and add a load of things? I mean, the whole point of eating these natural foods is that they're natural. And yet they want to bang a load of everything else in so you can't even taste that which it is that you're eating. Now, I've just froze down all those elderberries, and I'm going to gather a whole bunch more. And I'm just going to put them in the blender, and I'm just going to drink them. And I'm going to drink the skins and the pips and everything. Oh dear, you know, what's a shameful sin? Really, I'm just involved in nature. I'm just a natural person, you know. I'm eating them straight off the tree, you know. Would anybody dare? They wouldn't dare. They've got to start washing and waxing and polishing, any sort of stupid shit. And this is why I invariably just don't bother, just do my own thing. And so getting back again then, just to concentrating on creating heaven here on earth. And we do that by being exceedingly selective about who we mix with, unless we want to suffer. Now, I don't know the extent of how much you guys mix, but you're all well aware of people being a complete pain in the ass. And I'm pretty sure that if the vast majority of you could eradicate the vast majority of the people that you have to suffer, then you would. And so you look at me and you think, well, yeah, I wouldn't mind actually living like you do, Aaron, you know, because I can't stand people, to be fair. I'd just rather live with my dog. Yeah, and so, you know, I have these conversations with my daughter, and, you know, she tells me the things that, you know, she's feeling down about, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's a no-brainer, really. It's a simple affair. What we do is we look at the things that we don't like, and we try to eradicate them from our lives. And if it's anything to do with your partner or your job, well, you know, it might not be an overnight thing. But you got to set your stall out to deal with it. Otherwise, there's going to be no changes, is there? We can't keep going through life, oh yeah, my partner's a pain in the ass, and my boss is a pain in the ass, and my job is so boring, and you keep doing it, and then keep complaining. No. You know, I will offer up a solution or three, and then if my solutions aren't at least tried, and if the same complaint keeps coming back, I'm not interested in listening to it anymore. You know, that's the height of stupidity, isn't it? And anybody that's not willing to, you know, try to, you know, create better lives for themselves and continues to complain, well, we have to conclude very quickly that that's what they're about. That they don't even intend to, you know, tidy up their lives, because they're not really interested in that. Their disposition is that of complaining. And some people, we know that they don't want to do anything, you know, other than complain. Complaining is their bag. That's what they're about. And they'll never stop it. And so when you listen to these people, you know, I think these people are great if you've got like a therapist business, because they'll keep coming back forever and you just keep taking the money. And you know, you offer this and you offer that, and you know, don't offer anything, just listen. They'll just keep coming back. And so everybody serves a purpose. What I've come to realise in my life is that nothing needs to be changed, because everything is perfect. Everybody and everything just fits in hunky-dory. It really is. Because if we didn't have these people that were complaining about their lives all the time, then we wouldn't need shrinks, would we? And so they'd have to find something else to do with their lives. Just helping nature along. So this is where I got these sloes from the other day. Gonna gather up another bunch because nobody else is doing it. And I'm like, well, you know, they suck the moisture out of your mouth. I swear that if you could look under a microscope where your tongue would touch these things, it'd be bone dry. The moisture's just gone. It's kind of like if you actually crunch one, your mouth would literally be. You wouldn't be able to swallow. I mean, what curse was it that made you like this, Plums? So nobody wants to eat your fruit and pass them on. Well, oh, sorry. You made me jump in the stingers. I was having a moment there, wasn't I? You know, it's offensive, but it's not offensive enough to have me go back for some more. Curious, that, isn't it? I'll be back. I will. Because in actual fact, look, I'm going to do it now. Because, look, let me show you something else as well. There's these piles of elderberries. Now, for that bunch there, I've got to go and get my staff, which has got a hook on it. And I'll push that up and pull the branches down. But here, look. Food stuff everywhere. So I'll have to end this video probably earlier than I would have. But just by way of summary, if we concentrate on doing all of the hedonistic things in our lives, living like an Epicurean, just seeking pleasure, that is when we are going to enter into the kingdom of God. Now, unfortunately, lots of you will say that you can't do that because you've not got the face for it, or you need more money to provide for your family, X, Y, and Z, all this sort of thing. Okay, but just concentrate on what makes you more happy. Whether it's Epsom salts in your bath and candles and peace and quiet just for half an hour, something like that. What I'm saying is, in these videos, what I'm making, and in my book, how do we get closer to God? It's how do we get closer to a semblance of happiness? Because I'm telling you now, when my mind has been absolutely flushed with DMT, which is almost identical to the molecule dopamine, I have been in ecstasy every single time, and for quite a while after, while there's still a residue of DMT in my brain, I've discovered that that really is heaven. Murder, mayhem, all the rest of it, it doesn't matter. For some reason, your mind just can't lend to feeling angry or agitated about it in any shape or form. Your brain doesn't have any capacity whatsoever to feel ill about anything. So I'm telling you people, that is God. And if I could take DMT, which lasted all day, every day, then without a shadow of a doubt I would. And this is why certain substances like benzodiazepines, codeine, those sort of things, they're very addictive because they put people in this chilled out bliss state, and it's not anything like the ecstasy that you get from DMT, but it's pretty good. And that's why these substances are so prolific. And, given the opportunity, every human being on the planet will be addicted to them. So, I'm trying to make life simple for people when they read the chapters in my book and discover that what I've discovered is about all the stuff I've read and engaged with. At the end of the day, if we boil it down to simplicity, it's about being happy, doing anything we possibly can to gain happiness in our lives, whatever happiness means to you. And so start off incrementally small with your job, your partner or lack of partner, with your relationships and the foods that you eat and the things that you can do, the place that you live. Make sure you've got the facility for nature all around you, because if you haven't, I'm telling you people, you're going to find it really hard to enter into the kingdom of God, because you ain't doing it in the concrete jungle. Not unless, of course, you're spaced out on benzodiazepines and all the rest of the stuff. Anyway, look, around here I've spoken to you about these hawthorns. So those are there. Then we've got blackberries over there, and we've got blackberries all around us. Then we've got elderberries up there, elderberries over there, and then we've got these, buckthorn sloes there, and then we've got the crab apples, then we've got the plums. We've got an abundance. We really have. It's everywhere, and I've only just scratched the surface of this wild food foraging. So anyway, I'm going to get to business, people. And so you guys and girls, look, even this plant here, this one is wild parsnip, and when they're young, this tastes like celery. So you can eat those, and you can bang them in your salads. And so there's loads of stuff. Of course, like I say, there's stinging nettles everywhere, and they make a gorgeous soup. Ooh. Who needs Walmart? Who needs Tesco's? Who needs Aldi?